Hey guys, welcome back to the Top 10 Weakest series. Today, you guys decided we'd be completing the starter trifecta, and following up fire and water with grass. I like the fact that you guys went this way, since it has a real sense of uniform and keeps things fresh when compared to my other series. We've got tons of options in the grass typing to look over, and while maybe not as many as the water type, it still took me a little bit to nail them down. I don't want to waste any more time with this intro though, because I'm super excited to see which the worst grass type is. Let me know in the comment section below which typing you'd like to see done next. And without any further interruption, let's get into things. Alright, we're going to start off this top 10 with a starter Pokemon. Considering the fact that starter Pokemon seem to have had a real influence on the first 3 entries of the series. Meganium is the only grass starter I think I can honestly say is bottom 10 of the typing, and it does make me a bit sad. I love Chikorita a lot, as you guys all know, and thus I at least have a good amount of respect for Meganium, but the fact that it's here over Torterra disappoints me. And I will say, Torterra is better competitively than Meganium is, it's just facts. It's not too hard to point out what's not great about Meganium, but I'll start with a good thing. Defensively, it isn't bad at all. It's got base 100 special defense and defense, so if you want to see Meganium take a hit, it's surely possible. You'll get very little help from its abilities though, as Overgrow is naturally trash, and Leaf Guard is just useless due to how much it relies on the sun. And honestly, the fact that it just takes away a status ailment isn't enough. There's plenty of different ways to remove status ailments, so I'm not impressed by any means. Its attack stats are 82 physical and 83 special, and its speed is base 80, which are all rather pedestrian stats. It's just not a good look when all a Pokemon offers is some screens, and that's it. You need to be able to do more, and Meganium just struggles with that. Its move pool features 1 or 2 good moves, like Petal Dance, which is really great for building it up as a special attacker. I suppose if you like, you could run Swords Dance on Meganium, and some physical moves like Petal Blizzard and Earthquake. It's not out of the realm of possibility to turn Meganium into some sort of slaw-jawed physical attacker, but I don't see much of a point. It seems better to just try and set up defenses with it and stall. But really, there are so many Pokemon that will do the job better. Like I said, I love Chikorita a lot, and I'd like, at least for its sake, to not have to put Meganium here, but I just have to. It should feel lucky it isn't higher, honestly. Next up on this list, we've got what sometimes feels like the only grass Pokemon they bothered to add in Pokemon X and Y, Go-Goat. Now of course, there's the Chestnut line and Gourgeist and Trevenant, but really sometimes it's easy to forget all of these grass types from Kalos. I don't know what a region based on France has against grass, but whatever. Go-Goat is a defensive Pokemon with a powerful 123 HP stat, but its defenses struggle to keep up with that massive bulk. Its speed isn't all that great either, at base 68, which is an issue you'll see often on this list. Have no fear though, as defensively, it can be made even better with its hidden ability, Grass Pelt, which will boost its defense if the grassy terrain is set up. Isn't that just incredible? No? Well, you're right if you said no. It's not. It's such a situational, stupid ability, and so is Sap Sipper. The moves on Go-Goat include Bulk Up, which is a good bit of setup under most circumstances, and can in fact help it out. If you're lucky enough to be in on a physical attacker while trying to set up, then you know you've got a few decent options for attacks with Horn Leech and Stab, and some coverage options in Earthquake and Rock Slide. Yeah, you've got coverage for the weaknesses, and that's great. It probably is what keeps Go-Goat from being any worse on this list. However, even then, there are grass-type Pokemon that can provide what Go-Goat provides, but significantly better. We've got coming up here at number 8, the first of only 2 Pokemon on this list that even made it in the Sword and Shield, Maractus. So Maractus is definitely an attacker, with base 106 special attack, but like so many other Pokemon that we're going to talk about, has horrible base 60 speed. I know it's a meme with you guys that when I see bad speed on a Pokemon, it makes it trash, and while that's definitely not always the case, often it is. I don't believe that just because Trick Room exists, a slow Pokemon should automatically be considered great, unless it actually can be. If its attack and defense are through the roof, but it has 20 base speed, then sure, Trick Room really helps it turn into a fantastic Pokemon. But for some others, that's just not going to work. Maractus is one of those Pokemon, seeing as its special attack is the only good thing about it. Sure, you can set hazards up with it, but you're probably only gonna be able to attack once before getting knocked out. Its weaknesses are the usual kind for grass types, and those defenses really won't stop those typings from messing this cactus up. Its move pool is limited, and those abilities rely too much on the sun or managing the switch in on some water type moves. So while Maractus has better potential than any other Pokemon on this list, with its hazard setup and strong special attack, it is most certainly one of the worst grass types. Well, you guys saw the thumbnail of course, and it's time for the Pokemon that adorns it, Sawsbuck. Though yeah, it does suck, it's got 4 different skins for each of the seasons, and none of them help it perform any better on the battlefield. Well, you know, it's got base 100 attack and 95 speed, which is not bad by any means. See, those are the kinds of stats I'd expect to see on a Pokemon that is competent in battle, and maybe even something worth using. I mean, even with it being bad, Sawsbuck really dominates when out in battle against other bad Pokemon. If you decided to build an all-star sunny day team of bad Pokemon, you'd for sure find Sawsbuck on it. Now, what's really not good for it, of course, is the poor defenses it has, which are base 70, and they're just not going to help it take hits super well, especially if you consider that typing. It's both grass and normal type, which is just not lending itself to being good defensively. Just look at all these weaknesses. Stuff like fighting and fire, it's so obviously not what you want. It's going to get absolutely rocked by a fire type if the sun is out, even with the increased speed from its chlorophyll ability. So outspeeding won't matter that much when right afterward, it takes a flamethrower or flare blitz and is out cold. Its move pool does include Swords Dance, which is a great option to help make stronger in battle. And yeah, that's pretty cool I suppose. It definitely can get stronger, but who cares? You'll set it up once, and in that same turn, something will hit you with a fire or fighting type move, and your Sawsbuck is just some tender venison. A move like Double Edge can hit for great damage when Swords Dance is set up. And with the Normalium Z in Gen 7, you can take out anything with it if you're set up. However, I ask again, who cares? You use Double Edge once, and after recoil, Sawsbuck is without a doubt getting knocked out. Like I said prior, Sawsbuck is great against some bad Pokemon. But you put it in there with far more capable opponents, and it's going to be destroyed before it gets a chance to do anything. This is one of the mediocre Pokemon I've talked about recently, but at least it isn't in the top 5. Just like the tree it is, we have Tropius, planting itself right here outside the top 5. Honestly, I gotta say, Tropius is incredibly lucky that it's not in the top 5, because it definitely could have been. It has never really been a good Pokemon, and its stats show a poor attempt at being bulky. It has base 99 HP and 87/83 in its 2 defenses, and its speed is a poor base 51, which is usually expected among bulky kinds of Pokemon. When you're bulky like this though, do you really want to be a grass flying type? It's not like Tropius chose its typing, but Game Freak sure did. And it's an awful typing in the grand scheme of things if you want to be a defensive mon. Its weaknesses to ice types, as well as other flying types and fire types, really are the issue. Its abilities rely so much on the sun, like a lot of the Pokemon on this list. And that's just the problem. Why would you use Tropius in a sun team when there are literal teams worth of better options to use? I'm starting to think the only thing really all that good about Tropius is the bananas that grow on its chin. And even then, would you really want to eat those? I mean, maybe if I'm stranded on an island, I'll think about it, but other than that, no. I'd rather just go to my local grocery store. Its attack stats are lackluster, so moves like Leaf Storm and Air Slash aren't really worth messing around with. You may as well try stalling with this thing. It has access to Substitute, and of course it can use Toxic. At the very least though, it does at least have access to Roost, which can be helpful in tandem with its Harvest ability. Harvest will allow it to use a berry often enough to try and heal, but that's just not enough in my opinion to justify using Tropius over several other Pokemon. This thing is getting outsped by many Pokemon that will be able to hit it for majorly super effective damage. It probably should have been in the top 5, but it lucked out in the end because there are just enough Pokemon that are worse. You know, this next Pokemon that starts our top 5 is probably something you'd find hanging off of one of Tropius's wings or something. It's the Grass Type Wormadam, which I guess is its plant cloak form. So this thing is a defensive Pokemon by nature, with 105 special defense and 85 base defense. Now of course, as is the case, it fails with most of these Pokemon. It is a horribly slow Pokemon at 36 base speed, which somehow feels worse than 30 even though it isn't. It has a horrible HP at base 60, and as you see on screen, its attack stats are not good either. Its abilities, Anticipation and Overcoat, are garbage and just useless. I wish I could even come up with something more interesting to say, but I just can't. Look, there is at least one good thing here that puts Wormadam ahead of the next 4 Pokemon, and that is access to Quiver Dance. It gives hope that its speed can be better and it can hit hard in battle, but really that's a false hope. This thing gets dominated by entry hazards, its weaknesses, and any Pokemon with general offensive competence. Look elsewhere for good Grass-type Pokemon. You know, I am just realizing now how many grass Pokemon are based off of plants. I know that might sound dumb, and it sort of is in a way, but they really love just making random plants into Pokemon. We've had a cactus, a banana tree, and now we've got a Venus flytrap. Carnivine continues our top 5, bringing awful 46 base speed and poor defenses to the table. Its attack stat is a great base 100, and its special defense isn't too bad either at base 90. But when you look at its ability, you begin to realize just how stupid this Pokemon is. Why in the world would any grass type need Levitate? They already resist ground type moves, and the only thing I could think of that is worse than this is giving Levitate to a Pokemon with the flying typing. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Rotom fan.
What's up, Rotom fan? You're telling me you don't get hit by ground type attacks? So you're not telling me right now that if an earthquake hit, you wouldn't drop. Boom boom.
Have fun avoiding earthquakes but getting destroyed by literally anything else since you're a grass type. Carnivine, to its credit, has access to Swords Dance, which could be used to make it even stronger. But again, poor speed and a lack of truly credible defenses basically render setup like that a bit useless. If you want to try setting up and then turning to moves like Knock Off and Power Whip, then please be my guest. Just know that Carnivine will go out of its way to disappoint you, and you'll end up wishing you turned to a good grass-type Pokemon like Wormadam. Well, that thing is good relative to Carnivine anyway. Also, you know, let me know down below which Pokemon that's based off of some plant, object, or animal you like the best. Oh my god, it's just getting worse. There's a reason why 80% of this top 10 isn't even in Sword and Shield, and that's due to a lot of factors. What doesn't help is how bad these Pokemon are though. We've got Parasect here, which is just so awful. It's a bit shocking to me that it's only at number 3, and I made this list. Look at how bad these stats are. It's slow as dirt with base 30 speed, lackluster defenses at base 80, and even worse base 60 HP. The only thing clearly good here is its 95 base attack, but it will have 0 opportunity to attack anyone. Its abilities are a little bit interesting, I'll give it that, as Dry Skin means it can switch in on a water type move to heal, and Effect Spore is a bit of controlled chaos that can somehow pay off if you're lucky. This is just me trying to be a little bit positive though, as there isn't anything else worth caring about. Parasect is one of the very few Pokemon that has access to Spore, which actually causes me to cringe. Why is one of the greatest moves in the franchise available to such a horrible Pokemon? Especially considering the fact that it won't outspeed anything unless Trick Room is up. And I'm tired of that circumstance being an excuse to justify bad Pokemon that are so slow. It can't take hits from fire or flying types, it can't hit anything back for any real sort of damage, and the little bit of utility it has gets cancelled out by its poor speed. Again, I can't believe that there are Pokemon worse than this, but here we are. The penultimate spot is here, and I'm pretty happy to be almost through this list. Finally, we have the only other Pokemon aside from Maractus that appears in Sword and Shield, Cherrim. For those of you astute viewers, you'll remember I included Cherrim on my worst team for Sword and Shield. But it's such a bad Pokemon, I'd be surprised if anyone really remembered that I put it out there. Cherrim's ability to change its appearance, depending on if the sun is out, is a really cute gimmick. But really, it does nothing to change its fate of appearing here on the list as the second worst grass type. Its stats don't change regardless of the form. So, as you can see, its pedestrian 87 base special attack and 85 speed are all it has going for it. And that's totally not much. Its defenses and HP are all undeniably bad, and its ability Flower Gift is one of the worst we've talked about today. It's yet another one that requires the sun, but this time, all it does is increase its attack and special defense, as well as change its form. Like, come on, a physical attack boost for this thing? That's just seriously lame. Its move pool is also lame, and there really is no reason to ever use Cherrim, making it the second worst grass type. How is that even possible? Well, just sit through this transition and you'll see why. That was quite the ordeal we just went through, all to get to this point, the worst grass type Pokemon of them all. You guys have probably been waiting this whole time to hear me eviscerate it, so let's not waste any more time and just say, my god, Sunflora fucking sucks. Now hey, let's give it one compliment right off the bat. It's got 105 base special attack. Really, on just about any Pokemon, that would have been a great stat to have. It's the kind of thing that makes a good Pokemon even better, or salvages a Pokemon that might be on the worst end of things. Well, in regards to Sunflora, there is no making it better. That 105 base special attack is actually a complete waste, and it's almost disgracefully so. Its speed is disgustingly bad at base 30, and while its special defense is base 85, that physical defense is only base 55. How in the world can you ever expect to survive a hit and then try to do anything back to an opponent? That's right, you can't. Don't look towards abilities for help, because Chlorophyll doubling Sunflora's speed will make no difference. Think it would be great to make that special attack even better? Well, Solar Power will do that for you. All while draining Sunflora's health and making it even easier to knock it out in one hit. Both of those require the sun to be out too, so have fun wasting a turn setting up the sun with this thing, since no normal person would ever include it on a sun team. Its move pool is absolute garbage, and isn't worth going over. So I'll just close it out with one final note. If I were in a region where the starter options were Sunkern, Slugma, and Luvdisc, I'd probably just refuse to play that game. Well, that's gonna do it for another top 10 weakest video. Once again, the garbage that some of these Pokemon are has worked me up a little bit, but I can't help it. Something about Pokemon being terrible just really makes me passionate, you know? Anyways, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about this one, and also let me know what typing you'd like to see me do next in this series. You guys have been killing it with the support so far, so leave a like if you enjoyed it as well. So with that said, thank you to everyone for watching the video. Huge thanks to my phenomenal team and the amazing art done each week by Danny the Demon. I couldn't do all this without them. If you all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too, as it really helps us out. I also do other content on my Twitch, where I stream Genshin Impact, Mystic Zora, where I do Pokemon Let's Plays and other gaming content, and of course MysticSage, where I do all anime content. Right now, I'm focusing on Inuyasha and Yashahime, so if you're interested in that, be sure to check it out. If you'd like to support me even further than that, check out my Patreon. Whether it's a $1 tip to get early thumbnail access, or the $10 tier to get cool perler bead charms and a shout out. There's tons of reasons to join today. These lovely people did, and I thank them all so much for their support. It really means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrion, and I will see you all next time with some more amazing Pokemon content.